Today on my channel, Planner Friends. Well, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. I need to get on the stick with my goals. And next week, I have a huge project I'm working on for work. So it's got me thinking ahead to April. So we're actually going to leapfrog ahead. And I'm going to ask you for a little bit of your input. So why don't you pull up a mug of something yummy? I have hot tea as always. Obviously, I'm feeling pink today, but it's still chilly. It gets warm, it gets chilly, but we need to come up with some goals. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. But again, I'll ask you for input as well. So let's have some creative fun, friends. Please stay tuned. Hello, planner friends. Welcome to my channel. I am One Crafty Dolo, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Thank you. Thank you for your presence, your time, and so forth. Okay. I feel like I've woken up from hibernation, if that makes sense. It's still chilly out, but it's sunnier and it's gotten a little warmer here and there. We have warmth, cold, warmth, cold. And I feel like I'm coming out of my shell or something into the spring. And that got me thinking, this is my goal planner. It's just a classic happy planner. And I use it for this channel. I set up my videos on the monthly, and then I have weekly goals related to this channel and some of my writing goals. Now, I'm very happy in this space. I switched from a dashboard layout. I kind of miss my dashboard layout, not going to lie, but I'm making this work, and it's a pretty planner, so that actually helps. This week here is blank. It happens. Life goes on. So here we are in March, and you can see I'm here. I don't plan my videos too far in advance, truthfully, because I like to come at you in the moment. So we have the first week, the second week. We have this week here, and then I already decorated for next week. But I have a major project I'm working on next week. It has nothing to do with the channel or any writing. It's just work life thing. We all work, and sometimes projects come up. So next week is going to be really busy. I haven't decided how I'm going to do this because I'll be done by Thursday night. So I've got to figure out filming and all that next week, but pretty spread, isn't it? It's really pretty. I decided I wanted to in part of my spring wake up. This is part of it. But that got me thinking about goals and so forth for April. And I'm always transparent with you. Now, I don't care if your goals are professional, personal, maybe, life has slowed down. I know for me, my son's on his own. That's changed things quite a bit. But this winter I really took a hit. So I have scleroderma, and this winter was just tough for me. I don't know. I wish I could explain it better, but I can't. And I really struggled. My skin struggled. I just was not feeling great. So I thought I would get more done than I did. I didn't get it done. And so now I want to start thinking ahead to goals. And I thought wherever you are in your life, first off, I'm going to pose some questions that I hope you'll help me with in the comments. But wherever you are in life, it's never too early or late to reboot. And that's what I feel this video is going to be. So I hope it's not long and rambling. I'm going to do my best to make it not that way. But yeah, I have some other writing goals that I have put aside for quite some time. And I'm like, why? Well, you know what? I'm not self-critical. I don't sit there and say, oh, I should have, would have, could have. I've talked to you about that already. But I also do believe there comes a point where you're like, okay, that was then, this is now, and I have to get back on the stick. So let's get started, friends. Okay, so in the back, I rip them out when I'm done. Sometimes I use this for notes. What I want to do, I buy Happy Notes when they're on sale, just because. And this is from a different Happy Notes than this. But I like this actually a lot. In fact, I like this one very much. So I think I'm going to take this divider. There was a time where I used to just make my own dividers, but you know what? Not yet. Not now. So I think what we're going to do is put this by the notes. Yeah, let's just and put these sheets in here. So let me explain what I'm doing and where and why I could use some of your input. First off, I'm writing devotionals, which is something I've always wanted to do, right? And so that's an ongoing project. Right now, I'm writing them on Medium. At some point, I would love to create a book or something along those lines, okay, of devotionals. Alrighty. So let me just outline where I'm going with this. I worked on and wrote a children's book, and I put it aside in large part, because I need to work on the illustrations, and that's what's mucking me up, if you will. Well, I don't know that was such a good idea because I feel like you know what? I'm not self-critical. So what I want to do right now is to come up with ways to get that project off the ground and moving. So my first question to you is, if you have something that you want to do, whether it's in the present or in the past, how do you, what am I trying to say here? How do you chunk your goals down? Do you chunk them down? Have you done that where you break them down into like manageable parts so that you can do it? Now, full disclosure, I was in higher ed for years. I worked with students. I taught. I was an advisor. I did all kinds of things. And I was really good when it came to academic goals to doing this, but I'm finding I'm less good in life with it sometimes. And that's just me being honest with you. So I want to come up with these goals. I want to do it right, and then a task list too, and then translate this into April. So let me tell you what I'm thinking. So I'm looking at second quarterly goals, and then I want to chunk it down into April goals. So my second quarter overall goal is to at least get half the illustrations in the book done. It's a children's book. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you what it's about, but I can't. Because the minute I put it out there, I'm very big on intellectual property, and it's not that I don't trust you all, but you never know. You don't put things into the ether until you're ready for them to be out there, if that makes sense. So I almost feel like I should put the overall goal here for the quarter and then 3 goals. Do you agree with me? Is that a good approach? So I'm going to take a few minutes here to think about how I want to set this up, and also with my channel. What are the things I want to do with my channel? Because I literally come on here and I'm like, I think I'll do this. I think I'll do that. It's not that I have ADHD. It's just I try to be authentic. And so I really should have better goals with this thing. But I do have a big goal for April for the channel. So taking a minute, going to drink some tea, and I'm going to think. Alrighty, planner friends, here's what I've come up with. Quarterly goals. I'm going to reiterate this every month. I'm putting my academic hat back on, and that's what I would tell a student. Keep your topics front and center. Keep your goals front and center. So I'm slipping back into my old life a little bit. My YouTube channel goals, my children's book, and my other writing, which is Medium, devotional, etc. Now, first off, thank you for being here with me, and I appreciate any input you might have. That really does matter to me. So let's be clear here. How am I going to approach all this and so forth? Okay. First off, I'm going to use different markers because that's what I need to do, because I think I'll feel better. So I'm going to come back to the quarterly goals. With regards to the YouTube channel, I've done a unscientific poll, but I'm going to finally work on the emails. I put it aside. I've looked into a few options for doing that. There's MailChimp, there's this and that. But I want to start an email list for the channel. Now, rest assured, I'm not a fan of emails. In fact, I'm not always so great at answering emails because I get sidetracked. That's one of my legacies from higher ed, and getting emails constantly between mostly administrators, but others. And yeah, that was kind of tough. So I hate email, but I like connecting with people that way too. In other words, I'm not going to bombard your inbox. I'm not going to pelt you with emails, and they're not going to be long things. It's going to be short, sweet, simple, and just a way of reaching out to you. The other thing I want to do is plan ahead more. I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants. And I don't know that that's the best, because then I spend more time. I waste time, in other words, not by not planning ahead, right? Another thing, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I want to do one vlog video. I haven't been as good at that. It's hard to step out from behind the camera, and I always feel like I don't have that exciting a life. But you know what? Why not bring you along with things? I think that would be really a good thing to do. And then I'm just going to keep schedule. And that means my videos are Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and the shorts and so forth. Okay, so that I think is pretty good, to be honest with you. Now, the children's book. My goal, if I want to be realistic, I'm going to give myself time, because illustrations and, trying to figure out what computer program to use. And that's another question I have for you. I used Canva originally to illustrate it, but I don't believe I can use those photos legally. So I've got to figure out, do I want to do InDesign, or do you know programs? Do you know anybody, or do you know how to draw things? And I can purchase graphics, that I can do. And I've thought about doing that, but that's one thing. So what I'm going to do, okay, with regards to the channel, and this is important. First off, I want to look at programs. Oh, I mean, design. So I need to look into that, and I need to take the time. I always say, and then what happens is I get nervous. I worry about legalities and all that stupid stuff. I'm being honest with you here. And then the next thing I know, I'm not putting it out there. It's a really cute book regarding shelter pets. That much I will say. Shelter animals. And my whole life has been about shelter animals. I did sell Luro because the clothes are good for my skin, because they're soft, because of my scleroderma. And I used to hold all kinds of fundraisers for shelters. So I did make money off of LuLaRoe. I didn't get into all the craziness people did. It was so stupid. But I ended up donating a lot of money, and like the senior, was it an animal rescue for seniors? 3 different shelters. Yeah, I was all about shelter pets. So it involves shelter pets. Yeah, believe it at that. And it's really sweet, but I got to look at programs. So that is my April goal, is to look at and select or buy some graphics. Start on them. I want to get at least so much done, I said, but you know what? I'm realistic here. It's going to take me time. This is not something I'm proficient in, so I have to look at the legalities and so forth. Good. Or again, if you have any ideas or suggestions, you got to know that I would appreciate some help from you, because you all boost me more than you might realize. Okay. Other writing. I want to get through to Easter. So weekly devotionals. On Medium. That's important to me through Easter. I swear to the Lord, every time I sit here and film, I get my road, which is right in front of me, turns into like Grand Central. I don't know why. Weekly devotionals on Medium through Easter. And again, here's where you come in. I feel like, again, this winter, I know I fell into a hole. I didn't feel great, blah, blah, blah. That was then, this is now. Going forward, I'd like to be more consistent with that writing. What do you think? I know you don't live in my life, you don't fully know me. If I say every week, that might be too much, especially with this. I mean, juggling and working and running a household and all the other stuff. So the question is, twice a month, every other week. So I'm going to leave that blank. And I write from my heart. It's been mostly devotionals recently, but I have a few topics sitting in Microsoft Word, just waiting. And part of that is, if you watch my video about flipping through planners, I can see something in an old faith planner and then turn that into an article. And I've got one recently that I just started to type into Microsoft. So I would like some help in that. Before I write this down, I'm thinking 2+ a month. I think that would work. But again, if you don't mind, since you're kind of my target audience here, I would appreciate any input you can give me on that. So I'm gonna wait till next week to write that down. And finally, my quarterly goals. Okay, so I have to come up with the quarterly goals. The other thing I want to do is every week here, I'm going to have certain tasks. That doesn't mean I'm writing them out yet, but I want to demarcate it. So I'm holding myself accountable, and I need you to help me hold myself accountable, friends. So here we go. I chunked it down so every Sunday I can write down what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and so forth. And again, quarterly goals. Ooh, that's a lot, but let's do it. Okay, so by the end of the quarter, the email list is going to be active, which I'm really excited about. Okay, by the end of the quarter, I would like illustrations. Will they be done? That's a lot of work. I don't know that I don't want to set myself up for failure, and yet I want to hold myself accountable. I want to start on them in April. That gives me all of May and all of June. I would say illustrations 2/3. How's that? And that's being kind and generous. And then a schedule set and kept for medium. All right, what do you think? I think we can do this. Now, the next part of this is we're going to go into the calendar for April. I'm bringing this with because I wanted to do something different. I really hope this is helping you in some way. And your goals, again, could be anything. Your goals could be, getting your house in order. Really, spring cleaning. That's another thing I got to do, but that's besides the point. Now, I saw something on... Oh, I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was Instagram. I don't know if it was YouTube. But instead of using stickers, they were using markers. Now, these are just markers I picked up a long time ago on Amazon. Yeah, on Amazon. And I need one more, something softer, something different. Maybe the green. Okay. I'm going to put those over there. Now, to keep in line every week, now I have the 6th, 13th. Now, I'm going to mark, in addition to writing down my videos, which I do, right? You see how I do that, right? I just put them all in here. Now, I'm going to hold myself accountable to all these goals. So why am I doing that? Because goals are set here. I'll create a checklist every week. But here, I'm going to remind myself. So it's a 2-3-step process so that I don't fall down off the wagon again, if you will. Okay, so that's all I did there. And see how I've color coded it. And so every week I'm going to write down what have I gotten, goal 1, goal 2, goal 3. And so by incorporating those in here, it'll help me, but I have to... This is the checklist. This will be exactly what I got done in that week, okay? And I am starting, this will be for the previous week, etc., etc. So that's how I'm going to hold myself accountable in there. I think it's a good idea. I hope so. Now, You can, again, you don't have to use stickers. You can use simple markers. And I think that's something I'd like to get into a little more. Here, I usually use this spot for inspiration. You can see here, I'm not sure that I want to do it that way. So I might reiterate the goals right here. Okay, so I've started that there. Now I'm going to do something different than a quote here. Okay, and this is something you can do for any time, any reason. I am. I think I added an extra hump there, so we're going to try to. Okay, kind of. I am focused. I am determined. I am positive. I am cheerful. I am blessed. I am, good Lord, I'm strong. Yeah, I'll put that in there, right? I am helpful. I am encouraging. I am talented. I am compassionate. I am, what's the final one? Focused, determined, positive, cheerful, blessed, strong, helpful, encouraging, talented, compassionate. I am grateful. Write your own I am list, friends, because you are strong and you are incredible and you've got this. Okay. I really appreciate you. I know this is different than my normal videos, but remind yourself of who you are, okay? On a regular basis, you matter. I'm all of these things and more, and so are you, friends. Goodness, I really feel like I'm coming back out. I mean it. I feel like I'm coming out of hibernation. Okay, so those are those goals there. I'd like to throw down just a few stickers here, maybe. I grabbed some of these just to, I know I said you don't have to, but for expedience sake, I want to get this set up because I want to start planning these and getting this going and so forth. So let's do it. Let's get in here. Let's be happy. And yeah, I'm just going to throw down a few stickers and whew, we're going to keep on keeping on and keeping track. And wait, before I do that, let me grab one of these. Put this here. And we can put one probably down here. Yeah, we'll put it right underneath. Perfect. Oh, that works. Okay, I'll throw a few more of these. I'd like to order more from Mojo Jojo Plans, but you know, I bought a few things recently, so now is not the time. So there you go. As I said, this next week I'll be pretty wrapped up in this other project, unfortunately. It's good. No, it's good. It's a good thing I'm doing, and I'm a historian and I do different things, but sometimes it's like, ugh, just looking ahead. And so I'm going to do the same thing I'm doing here with the project. We were talking about it last night, in fact, and I said, okay, I have to chunk this down. I have to make this manageable because if I don't, I'm going to pull my hair out. I know me. I know what I'll do. And yeah, and I think I'll put one more small one up here. So that's the best way to do it. And I don't know why I haven't done that as much with my writing goals and so forth, but I realized I'm like, wait a minute, I need to get on the stick here. So that's what I'm doing, or that's what I'm trying to do. I think I'll just put this one up here. Even if it's overlapping a little bit, that's fine. And I want to take time and really set it up. Is there any little decorations in here that I can bring out? I love these books. I think they're wonderful. I think they're relax, be calm, and breathe. Now, we want dream. That's what we want. We want to dream because we're going to turn our dreams into realities. And I don't care where you are in life. I don't care what's going on. You can do good things in your community, in your corner of the world, to yourself, for yourself. That's important. Okay. Here's another one with dreams. I like that, but I don't need to use that. Let me just go through here real quick. Okay, I took a few minutes and just added a few things in here to make it more work better for me. So we've got this set up, and I'm glad I did that. I encourage you to do that. Really, sit down and write the good things about yourself and put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Now I want to put this back in here for these goals, and wow. So backing up into this. So I'm going to have to plan this coming week, but again, this is going to be, I don't know how much, I'm going to do things for my channel, but not my normal taking my time with it. I'm going to have to give this some thought. You know what? I'll post a picture maybe tomorrow, showing you my layout. Is that good? And then we've got this. I feel like I need to get ahead here for April because it's time. I wouldn't mind throwing some stickers down or something in here because I feel like if I don't do it now, it's just going to get away from me, and I don't want to do that. So why don't we just have some fun here? I don't know that I'm going to plan the week, but let's just grab some Happy Planner stickers. Now, speaking of Happy Planner stuff, it seems to me that they're late compared to last year with their ideas about, they're late with their new release. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I was curious if you had any, because by this point last year, they had already started in, and it seems to me they haven't even started. They're not even close to getting started yet. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're slow, but they are. It's not my imagination. Other people have said this too. So I'm just kind of curious. What are they doing? What aren't they doing? Why aren't they doing it? So maybe by the time this week comes, they'll have started. So now, because I'm doing this differently this time around, I really want to do it differently. Okay, if that makes sense. So every week I'm going to hold myself a bit accountable here. And if I'm feeling kind of punky about it, I may turn to you and say, hey, I don't think I'm going to plan this all out today, but yet I think I'll get a lot done here. And I think we did get a lot done, I should say. And I feel better already just talking about it because I've been kind of holding back and a little bit embarrassed. I'm not going to lie that I didn't get things done. And why? Why do I do that? Put that pressure on myself? Because, good Lord, the world will do that to us plenty. So let's see here. Okay, I am going to put this. I may not put this anywhere. In fact, you know why? Because I think I'm going to do something a little different here. So we'll save that one. Stay in there. Here we go. I need stuff like, not the big boxes. I need some boxes, and yeah, I know what I need. They're in here somewhere. There we go. Okay. So, noted. I have these. Is it? Yeah, see? Jot it down, noted. Okay. We can do this. So, I do feel better. I feel like just talking, even though you're not talking back right now, I do feel better about these things. All right, we're going to put one of these here. All right. Is there another type of box? There are those smaller boxes. Then there's these. Not really. Some of these, oh, here we go. Some of the sticker books are easier, some are harder, if that makes sense. So let's put this one by Friday. I want a good list. Yep. Okay, and we are going to use those 3 markers that I used in the monthly. I'm really trying to set myself up here for success, friends. That's all I'm doing. I really want to set myself up here to get this done and get it right. Come back to that. Let's add a few more decos. No, we're going to leave that here. Okay, these I wanted to look at. Right. Today, noted. There's some over here. Important, today's priority. I like these. Well, let's see here. Just going through, just thinking aloud. These are pretty too. I could add some more deco in here, and I might add a little bit more deco before I get into the noted in this thing. Important, happy note. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, they have little flowers too. Love this. Important. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I think. I think I've got this. Okay, so I'm going to put the one here. Take note. Get it done. We definitely need to get it done, right? Yeah. Let's do a get it done. Let's put one over here. Okay. The papers pop out sometimes. Do you have that happen with your sticker books too? I can and I will. I like that. All right. I'm just going through. Get it done. Here we go. Here's some more. All right. Before I get into that, let me grab the 3 highlighters. Here's what I want to do. Since I've already got them weekly, I actually every week want to do the same thing over here as to what I've gotten done in terms of these goals. And I'm going to color code them yet again still, because that's what we need to do. And then I can check them off. I'm not going to color code them before I plan. I feel like if I do that, then if I don't get to writing, like I don't want to set myself up for failure is all I'm saying to you. I need to do this and do this well and do it right, so to speak. Will there be step backs? I'm sure. Will things come up in life? Yeah, I'm sure of that too. You live for a certain amount of time and you're like, yeah, that'll happen. This will happen. You just know something's going to go whatever awry. That's why I thought if I set myself up and say, oh, I want these illustrations done, and no, because real life will intervene, and you and I both know it will. It's not the neatest, but it's okay. I think I can live with that there. And over here, I thought I could do similarly. And the reason being is just to remind myself, the more you see your goals in front of you, the more likely you are to get them done. So when I had a student, especially a student with a learning difference, even my own son has learning differences, and I worked with him on things like this, color coding, rewriting things, writing things again in different places where you can see it. And that makes a huge difference. And the irony with my son, God bless him, as he always says, I feel bad when I have friends and I can see they didn't get the help that I had. And thank you for that. And yeah, it melts my mother's heart. I'll be honest with you. It melts my heart, my mama's heart. And that's, did I facilitate things? Sure. But in the end, he had to do the work. And I really admire that in him. The other thing I wanted to do was to create like almost my own little kind of boxes here so I can write in the times that I'm working. I want to box these down a bit more. I'm going to take this purple that I used elsewhere. It just seems to be kind of make a halfway point here. I'm really trying to make this even more functional than it is for me. Flip this around. I always have these kind of rulers hanging out. Your girl here can't draw a straight line to save herself. So yeah. And down here, what I'd like to do is I saw some other stickers in there. Hold on. I saw they were in the front more. Where are they? Oh, yeah. I want to record as I'm going through here. What did I do? Okay. I'm going to put a number of these down because I think these will be helpful and useful. And even if it's small, it's just a reminder to me, what have you done? What have you gotten done? What steps have you taken? So over here, I'll outline weekly. Here's going to be what did you done? And then here will be what did you do on a daily basis to get to your goals? You can, well, you're seeing how I worked in higher ed, I guess, and how I worked with students, especially students with differences. And I'm really proud of my work. So I don't mind sharing that with you. I could almost use a few more little accoutrements here. Alrighty, I'm done. I know this video is kind of longish and rambling, but hopefully this works for you. I used the This sticker book, what is this sticker book? I didn't even know. This is from the lot where they misprinted them. But yeah, this is the sticker book that I used. I like how it turned out. And then these are the markers that I picked up off of Amazon a long time ago. I use them for habit tracking in my mini. Alrighty. I think we're good. So, number one, I want you to do this. And I don't think you can share pictures with me on the YouTube post page, but if you can, I'd love to see your lists, or let me know if you've done it. Put it where you can see it, where it's front and center. So that's your task there. I would love anything you might have on programs for design and so forth. If you have any suggestions, so that's number 2. And number 3, writing. What do you think about twice a month on Medium, or not every other week, maybe even? I don't want to do it every week. That would be too much. I know it would be. I hope this helped you in some way, shape, or form in terms of your own goals and your own future ideas and things. And again, it can be working in your house. It can be self-care. The goal is totally up to you. But the fact is, this is one way to really get into the planner and get it done. And you know what? I'm determined to do it, and we're going to do it. So thanks so much for your help and for being here. I tell you what, once I get through this big project next week, I think what I'll do is I will do a plan with me in a short, and then for this week in April, and you can see how I've set it up. So, all right, friends, thanks so much for being here. Goodness knows I appreciate you. Have a great week, planner friends. Bye now.